The state defense forces, in a state of emergency, the state defense forces are under FEMA, and the state defense forces are going to be basically the ground troops of FEMA in a disaster relief situation. That's the state defense forces. Look that up. State defense forces, Federal Emergency Management Agency, Department of Homeland Security. The state defense forces are going to be used by the government, by FEMA, in a state of emergency. And Alex Jones and the Oathkeepers are co-opting the Patriot militia movement into the government, into FEMA, into the Department of Homeland Security and NORTHCOM, which is the government structure that is going to take over when the so-called shit hits the fan. So Alex Jones is actually, his followers are actually the people who, they are actually the real enemy. They're actually the ones to be afraid of. He's rallying people to fear all these groups of people, bankers and feds and so on and so forth, international bankers, Marxists, all these buzzwords. These are the people that you're supposed to fear. But Alex Jones is just rallying a bunch of haters, and then the real feds that are going to take over are going to recruit Alex Jones's own followers to be the actual stormtroopers, to be the actual people that come bang on your door and take your stuff and all the stuff that Alex Jones fearmongers about. See? His own followers are being primed to be the things, the very thing that he warns you about. If you're one of his followers, beware, because you are being prepped to become the very thing that you've been conditioned to fear. Because the state defense forces, which is what Alex Jones and Oathkeepers are backing, is not an organic militia of the people. It is under FEMA. So they are going to be the ground level troops that do the work of FEMA in the event of an emergency, which they're Alex Jones and his movement are always pumping that there's going to be an emergency. They're always hyping it. The shit's going to hit the fan. The shit's going to hit the fan. Well, guess what? When it hits the fan, it's his own followers, the people that he's priming with fear and hate, that he's recruiting in to be the very thing that is going to be the threat. FEMA doesn't have its own stormtroopers. The stormtroopers are going to be the Patriot movement, the militia movement. That's why they're being prepped with hatred and fear of certain groups. International bankers, feds, and you can read between the lines of who the hatred and fear really is being pumped towards. When you look at all the issues that he pumps up, it's the whole agenda that he's presenting as the threat is just designed to rally his own troops with all this animosity, and they're going to be recruited into the state defense forces, which are under FEMA. So they're going to become the very thing that they think they're opposing.